Built-in hooks are nowadays the foundation of any rugged application, like the base rocks of a building. They provide essential functions to manage common patterns for state, context, side effects, performance, information which are not used for rendering, and other. Just as a strong foundation supports the entire structure, these hooks offer a reusable and efficient way to handle core logic in the application. In this video, we will start with the first category, state hooks. There are two built-in state hooks, useState and useReducer. Both of these hooks tell functional component to remember information. In other words, they help manage local state. The main difference between them lies in the complexity of the problem they solve. The useState hook is simple and perfect for handling simple scenarios. On the other hand, the useReducer hook is better suited for complex cases. Discussing their most common use cases, useState really just for simple case where only a piece of information needs to be remembered, like toggling a visibility, showing hiding a component. useReducer for handling complex state logic, especially when the next state depends on the current state and an action, like keeping track of previous states to allow undoing and redoing actions. The next one on our list are context hooks. There is only one hook in this category, useContext. It lets a component receive information from distant parents without passing it as props. Usually, when we need to send data from a parent to its child, we use props. This must be done step by step, passing the data from the most distant parent through all its children. With context, we can skip prop drilling. We create a provider that makes data available to all components within its scope, and then, instead of using props, components that need this data can access it with the useContext hook. Advantages of this approach: less prop drilling, better code organization, and simpler state management. When discussing common scenarios for using context, we can mention team sharing, light and dark mode, and or user authentication by passing login credentials. One more thing to remember about context: be careful with it. It's not ideal for frequently changing values, as it can trigger unnecessary re-renders. In such cases, a state management library may be a better choice. The last hooks to be discussed in this section are the ref hooks, useRef and useImperativeHandle. These hooks allow a component to hold information that isn't used for rendering, which is especially useful when a component needs to retain information without triggering a re-render when changes occur. A great use case for the useRef hook is managing input focus, such as handling errors in forms. If a user submits a form with missing or incorrect information, useRef can set the focus on the field that needs attention. Another common use case is tracking the previous state. For example, when building a stopwatch. We use useRef to remember when the button was clicked the first and the second time without causing the button itself to re-render on each click. useImperativeHandle lets a parent component access and control specific functions of a child component, which is useful when the parent needs to trigger behaviors like managing focus or starting animations inside the child component without causing re-renders. Refs are similar to state hooks. They remember the information, but unlike state, they don't trigger re-renders and can be modified directly. They are mutable. Refs allow direct interaction with DOM elements, and since refs don't cause re-renders, they help improve performance, especially in complex components or when frequent DOM manipulations are needed.